Hi everyone, welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Happy Friday, guys. I hope you all are doing very well this Friday afternoon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up whenever you can and supporting this channel and sharing it with others. Also, guys, don't forget to subscribe, because when you subscribe to the channel, you will get a notification as to when I come on live. So subscribe, leave your comments, share with others. This is how we keep this going. So thank you all. Keep in mind also that I am not a therapist, a social worker, or a counselor. Just someone who's gone through a lot of trials, tribulations, challenges, and I talk about ways that I became an overcomer and how I overcame all of these things with the help of God. So thank you for being here. I'm also dealing with some allergies today. Did take something for it, but yeah, it's one of those days. Pollen, ragweed, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I am here, and the topic of discussion today is the consequences of ignoring the elephant in the room. The consequences of ignoring the elephant in the room. We're going to talk about that, guys. Keep in mind, all of these things connect to healing. When you start recognizing the signs of things that are not for your highest good, please pay attention to that and set strong boundaries. That's what I had to do in order to stay focused on my healing and to move forward. Because otherwise, all these other little distractions of toxicity and situations can take you off your path to heal. And it can also affect all the work that you've done so far. So be cautious of that. So guys, disrespect, disregard, and dismissiveness, what that does to me, it leads me to disconnect. Because there's no reason for anyone to give somebody disrespect, especially if that person hasn't done anything to you or disrespected you. Just because, and what I find so far is that when people don't like who you are, they don't like how you speak, how you dress, how you look. They don't like your demeanor. And that's okay, because everybody is not going to like everyone. However, no one gets the right to disrespect someone because of it. To dismiss them like they are nothing. All those things are forms of abuse. I talk a lot here about abuse because we don't have to tolerate any form of abuse. I was just talking earlier to someone, and I was saying that we all have a choice. Excuse me, guys. My allergies are bothering me. But we all have a choice in a matter. We don't have to stay in connections that doesn't enhance our life or make us feel less than zero. Abusive situations. We have choices in a matter to not to be in it or not to be in it. I choose myself, and I chose peace, because I know what it's like to be in connections that make you feel less than zero, abusive situations. And like I said, I had to heal the abandonment issues that I had from childhood. And then as I started to do that, I started to do the work and feel better. And then when you feel better, guys, you start to learn your self-worth. And let me tell you about that. When you learn your self-worth, you start to see things, life, and situations from a different perspective. And I'm talking from experience. Ongoing problems due to unhealed traumas, it's like the metaphor that I described, the tons of bricks that you're carrying, up a hill that you can no longer climb because those bricks are weighing you down. That's how I felt for the first half of my life. Problems, situations, toxicity, and until 2020, when people who I love started dying off, like a domino effect. And then we were closed down. Everybody had to sit down. The only time we could go out was when we had to buy food. I mean, it was a hard time. When everybody abandoned ship and left me on it, I started to realize who was my support system and who was not. And that's when I decided to heal instead of being in a place of brokenness. And I started to look at my life and look at the people I was attracting, which were narcissistic ones, and toxicity. Addressing the elephant in the room. And some of us are still having difficulties in doing that. And I know what that's like because I didn't want to address the elephant in the room. Because guess what? I always was a person who thought I could fix everything. Okay, if she or he is broken, I can fix them. I can do this. I can do that. No, I cannot. We can bring people to the water, but we cannot make them drink. A person has to have a desire to change for the better in order for us to help us. Even God can't help you if you don't have the desire to help yourself. And that's what I've learned as well as doing the work to heal. And I don't try to do that anymore. And what I do now is just talk to people like I do and talk from my place of personal experiences. And I just don't engage in a toxicity. It's so overwhelming and it's so stressful. And I want to stay at a place of peace. I will address situations, but when those situations feel overwhelming and toxic, I leave it where it is and then I disconnect from it. Because some people, like I said in prior videos, they like the toxicity. They like being a drama starter. It makes them feel important or whatever it does. But for me, it's just overwhelming. And I refuse to be in connections of any kind that is toxic and feels stressful and overwhelming. I will disconnect from those. I will talk about it and then disconnect. It doesn't matter if it's a family situation, a friendship, whatever it is, it's important to stay in a place of peace. Because here's how I look at it from my perspective. All this hard work, I started doing this healing journey. I got on this journey in 2020. And it's been hard and long and a lot of pain, a lot of addressing the elephant in the room, a lot of looking at myself. Why did I do this? Why am I still doing that? Etc. And it's hard. And it takes a toll on your physical and mental health. And then doing therapy. And then putting those pieces of puzzle together to see the background of a picture. So I didn't like what I saw and I changed it, but with the help of God. Prayer, lots of prayer. Lots of taking first and second steps, even half steps. But God helped me. This wasn't a one-man show, and it's not easy. And as I continue to, the key factor, guys, to persevere, I started to notice the changes and God helping me. And as I helped myself, I started talking about this because some people are grieving and hurting deep down in their system, in their spirit, and they don't know how to climb out of it. So through my own personal experiences, and I talk about how I climbed out of it, something may resonate with someone, especially if they're going through these circumstances and situations that I'm talking about. And perhaps these things can help you to climb out of it, to become an overcomer instead of succumbing to these situations. You don't have to stay in toxic situations, connections, whether it's family or whatever. Set strong boundaries. And I set those boundaries and reiterate them and let people know that they can't cross those lines with me anymore. I am not a doormat. I am not an ATM machine, and I don't say yes to everything anymore just to keep people in my life. I address the elephant in the room now. It's not easy. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary because my peace of mind right now is everything. I will always choose myself over the toxicity and the noise. I will always choose myself when it comes to that, because my healing, my growth, my evolvement, my peace of mind is everything to me right now. And it will always be that way. And when people from the past think that they can come back after some time pass and, oh yeah, we're going to go and talk to Lisa and blah, blah, and etc. I have my walls up. I have my strong boundaries. And then I go and reiterate them, because I am not putting up with the noise or the toxicity. An old version of myself is not going to sit in a corner and cry somewhere. I'm going to reiterate those boundaries, and I'm going to enforce them, because, like I said, my peace of mind, mental and physical health means everything to me. And that's where I am with this. So addressing the elephant in the room, especially with my therapist with these things, it really helps, because as I do the work, the tons of bricks that I was carrying, because I was carrying not only my own burdens, but burdens of other folks who didn't want to carry their burdens. So just think about the metaphor of climbing a hill with your burdens, your tons of bricks on your back, as well as everybody else who are involved within your circle. And I just said, I can't do this anymore. And I had to learn to say no instead of yes. Because sometimes, have you guys ever said yes when you really wanted to say no, but because it's family, it's a close friend, or whatever it is, you felt obligated to say yes, even though you meant no, you don't want to do this? I felt like that for far too long, and I just got to the point where I had to, be honest and say, no, I can't help you. I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. But I can pray for you. People got mad. I mean, really mad when I started saying that. I'm not a doormat. I'm a human with feelings, just like everybody else have feelings. And it doesn't feel good when people are trying to use and abuse you and leech on to you because they don't want to do the work, And I had to sit down, ask God in prayer, why am I attracting people like this? Why is this happening? Until I did the work and started looking at life in those situations from a different perspective, and healed my mindset to change that as well, so I don't have a broken mindset and just, be a doormat to people. And once I started to change all of that and stay with my vows that I do, and stay in prayer, and take care of me, and choosing myself, my life changed for the better. It has changed for the better because I did that. None of this is easy, but it was necessary. Guys, do things that is for your highest good, because it's going to help your physical and mental health. It's going to help you to be in a better place mentally and physically. Just because it's family or this or that, you don't have to say yes all the time. If it's going to affect you in a negative way, or bring some toxicity to your door, you can say no. I'm sorry. And you can say why. I'm setting these strong boundaries because I need to heal. I need to take care of me. I need to put me first for a change. And sometimes people are going to hate that. They're not going to like that. And in my case, what they were doing is just trying to overstep those boundaries. That's why I started this video with the words disrespect, disregard, and dismissive. And that's what they were doing. So then what I went and did is disconnected. You don't need to be in my energy anymore, my space, because you're not respecting me as an individual. And, and sometimes you have to do that. Or sometimes when they are doing these things, set these strong boundaries. And I chose myself and chose to leave the toxicity and the folks where they are while I go and heal. And healing, even though it's an ongoing journey, when you choose yourself and you get to the point where self-care turns into self-love, and then the self-love turn into looking at things and life and situations from a different perspective. Now you are on the journey to change things in your life for the better, creatively, finding creative solutions to problems that you thought didn't have a solution to them at all. And as you start to do the work, you start to see things differently. And then you start, like, you have those aha moments. Okay, I couldn't do it like that, but I can twist it and turn it around like this and still make things work. Remember that I did a few videos before about having an algebra problem, a formula? There's two ways to get to the same answer. Like I used the metaphor, the number 5. You know, someone may be doing, person A may be doing a formula one way, and person B may be doing it differently, you know. But as long as the end result is the number 5, they both did it correctly. And it doesn't matter how you come to a solution, as long as it's a solution that works for you. You know, never allow anyone to tell you that you can't choose yourself so that you can go take care of your mental and physical health. Because guys, if you're not doing that, you know, and if your mental and physical health is suffering, then you can't take care of yourself or anything else around you. You can't do it because your mental and physical health is being affected. And when we don't address the elephant in the room and we just walk around it and pretend it's not there, it just grows and get bigger and bigger until it feels overwhelming. And all those things affect us physically and mentally. And that's why I had to get to the point where I had to do the work to address it. You know, because at first I was scared of all these people leaving my life. But when I looked at it and did the pro and con list, I was bringing most of the stuff to the table anyway. They were sending me breadcrumbs and bones. So like I said, I can just go and do me and take care of me and leave that where it is. And that was important for me to do that, because otherwise I'm going to stay stuck and stagnated in the problem. And then when you stay stuck and stagnated in those situations, it can turn to bitterness. And guys, when you get to a place where you're bitter, you know, then you can't receive the good that God has for you. God may have some blessings over here, but he needs you to close these toxic doors right here, and close those doors and padlock them, so that you can grow, heal, evolve, and then you can move to this door over here and open it. And behind those doors, God has some beautiful blessings. And I'm talking from experience. But you can't receive that if you're stuck right here in a place of bitterness. He or she did this to me, and you want to get them back or do this and that, and you're angry and you want to pay back, and etc. and so forth. If you're focused on that instead of forgiveness, then you're not healing, you're not growing or evolving. You're stagnated and stuck. Because I was there, believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I was stuck in a bitterness, wanted a payback for someone doing A, B, C, and D, until I learned to heal. And not just to heal it, but to forgive. And I had to learn the importance of the forgiveness. The forgiveness wasn't for them, it was for me, so that I can heal, grow, and evolve, and not be stuck in a pain. That's what some people don't understand. The forgiveness is not for them. The forgiveness is for you, so that you don't stay in a place of being stuck or bitterness. Because all those things, anger, staying angry, staying in a place of bitterness, that can cause you to stay stuck and stagnated. And believe me, while you're stuck and stagnated in all of that, that person who hurt you is over here living their best life. You know, they're moving on to whatever else while you're stuck. And I didn't want to be in that energy. So I worked day and night, night and day, to heal myself of those things, until I was able to get to the point to forgive, asking God in prayer to help me. And as I did that, and believe me, the work, even though it was hard, I just felt like I had to persevere through it, crawl, bite through it, no matter how difficult it felt or uncomfortable, because I refused to stay in a place of stagnation. Because if I stay in that place of stagnation, I can't heal, grow, and evolve. And that means I'm stuck while everybody else is doing whatever. And I said, no, this can't happen. And slowly, as I continue to move forward, I started to see the results of my hard labor. With the help of God. I couldn't do this at all without God. Like I tell people in prior videos, my strength, I draw my strength from God. That's where my strength comes from. And without God, I couldn't do this at all. So I continue to move forward, not knowing how the outcome, how it's going to look. It's just like the box, the metaphor that I described, the box of puzzle pieces. You may have 1,000 pieces in there. You don't know what that picture is until you sit down and start little by little putting those pieces together. Then you can see the background of what the picture is. And then you see what it is. Aha, that's that aha moment. And then you can keep moving forward. And that's how it was. And some days you're going to feel like those tons of bricks is just too heavy. And this is when I ask God to carry these burdens. Do not allow me to be distracted by the noise and the toxicity around me. Let me stay focused. And as I do that, I continue to move forward. It becomes a little bit easier and then easier. And then what happens as it becomes easier, you get to a place of self-love. Self-care first. Self-love. And then that inner peace. So I'm unbothered by the noise, the drama, the lies, the malicious lies, the gossip, all that stuff that used to hurt me and have me messed up, basically. I'm unbothered by it because I'm at a place of peace, and I know that what is in the dark will always be revealed to the light for everyone to see it with irrefutable proof. What's in the dark will always be exposed to the light for everyone to see with irrefutable proof. So people can lie, gossip, do whatever they do. They're in a place of toxicity because they're not in that healing mode. And I leave them where they are and then go over here in a place of peace. My inner peace is everything. And guys, do things that is for your highest good. Never allow anyone to drag you down to their level. Just like crabs in a barrel. Let me say that again. Just like crabs in a barrel, dragging each other back down to the pit. Never allow that. Set strong boundaries so you can focus on your growth and healing. And then God will open up those new doors, new situations, better people, better connections, better situations that will continue to help you to grow, heal, and evolve and keep you at a place of peace instead of broken down into pieces. That's the message today, guys. Share these videos with other people. I'm here to uplift. We are here to uplift, and share in the comment category also how these videos are helping you, because now is the time with so much toxicity and drama and negativity in this world. We need to build up, because building up and helping others seem like that is rare in today's world that we live in. But keep moving forward. Connect with people who want to see you grow, heal, and evolve, and who will support your journey and your venture. That's so important. And make sure that you're doing something on a daily basis to self-care, whether it's music, playing an instrument, volunteering at your favorite charity, that favorite restaurant, that favorite shirt or dress. Do things on a daily basis that uplift your spirit instead of breaking it down. Again, that's the message today. This is Lisa, shedding love and light. Guys, go enjoy your day and your weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday. Please subscribe to the channel. That way you know when I'm here and you can connect live. Thank you again. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye for now.